I had a really cool dream last night. You want to hear about that?
Sure.
So, do you know who Billie Eilish is?
Yes.
I was gonna be weirded out if you said no.
No, yes, I know who she is.
She, I'm sure everyone knows, so I don't even have to talk about her. But Laura kind of is like into her, I think, like her music, and probably into her as well.
Ooh.
And she has a friend that also is, and so they've been talking about her a lot. And I think she's cool. I think her music is good. But for whatever reason, like that was in my brain, and so I had a dream about it last night. And so when I woke up this morning, I was recollecting the dream, and it slipped away. So there's probably parts of it that I don't remember. But in my dream, Billie Eilish came over. She's like, "Hey, Will," and I was like, "What?" Like, you're like, "Fucking damn!" Like now Laura's gonna be all up on this girl in my dream, and Laura's like, "What?" And she's all excited, and then she goes, "Hey, I hope it's cool. I brought my dad," like in the dream, and I was like, "Whoa, what?" And her dad was Jim Carrey in my dream, which is like one of my idols, and I was like, "What?" Like, and I went to Laura. I'm like, "That's why like you like her so much because her dad's Jim Carrey." And then, like, so in my dream, Jim came in, and I was like, "What's up, Jim?" Like, we were friends or something. And then he shook my hand. And I'm like, "This is so awesome. Like, I kind of like Billie Eilish, too, because her dad's Jim Carrey." And then we just hung out. That was the whole dream. But I was, like, in my dream, I think I was telling people, like, you know when you learn a fact that no one knows? Like, "Hey, just so you know, Billie Eilish's dad is Jim Carrey." And I felt like I was all about that.
What is it?
Is what?
Jim Carrey's not her.
No.
I was going to say, I was like, wait a minute, what am I missing?
Am I getting tricked right now? No, he has nothing to do with her. I don't know why my brain did that. I think if I had to break it down in my head, I think I was like, well, that's like my idol, and I one of my idols, one of my favorite comedians, actors, and then I know that because they've been talking about it, I guess in my head, it's like, well, she can be hers because you like Jim Carrey. So I don't fucking know.
You're trying to justify why Laura likes her?
No, I don't think I'm trying to justify why Laura likes her. I think my brain's just trying to tell me it's okay for other people to idolize people.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know.
I can see that.
Yeah. Huh. I'm going to double check real quick because you're... Put the mic a little bit closer. Like, not a whole lot. Can you hear yourself pretty good?
Yeah.
Cool. Do you remember your dreams a lot? Because they say we dream every night, but we don't always remember them. Do you remember them?
For the most part, I do, especially if it's a bad dream.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's a bad dream. Should I say closer?
No, just because you're talking, like, if it's over here.
Oh.
Just want it to be more, like, in my line.
Oh,
there
okay.
You go. There you go. That was
so, the ones that I remember the most are when Ricky's a jerk to me in my
What? Of course you remember those.
Sorry, honey. But yeah, it's always the one that sticks with me, you know, always a horrible dream, always the one that I can remember throughout the whole day is like the one where Ricky decided to walk out, or Ricky didn't want to buy pizza, or you know what I mean, like little shit like that.
Is it always about like real life stuff? Like, do you dream about like things that could actually happen, or is it ever like wild? Like that's like a science fiction movie or something.
If I dream, I mean, I'm sure I've had those, but I don't remember them as crisp and as clear as the real life ones.
I have them both. I have had the same ones you're talking about, by the way. I used to have one where Laura doesn't want anything to do with me.
Oh, those suck.
And it's like in my dream, which in real life, if someone doesn't want anything to do with me, I think I would logically go like, "Hey, well, I'm better than that. I'm good. Never mind." But in my dream, I was like, "What? Like you're fucking everything to me." And there's this one dream where she is like trying to get away from me. And I know she's trying to get away from me because she's trying to find a dude. And I think in the dream, she's like kind of like, "Hey, like fucking like, why are you all up on me?
Oh, no.
Like, what are you, some sort of controlling guy?" Like it started off like that. And then in my dream, I'm like, well, damn, like I am kind of following her. But it's like manipulation. And she would never do this, by the way. But in the dream, she was like, yeah. And then she went missing. And then I was like, oh, like she's going to hook up with some dude. Like I need to find her, like, because she's making a huge mistake. She just doesn't know it yet. And so in my dream, I'm trying to get to her. And like when I find her, she's like, "I don't want you here." And like tries to take off again.
She would never.
Never. But then I wake up and I'm like, oh shit. Like I had a weird. So those ones do stick out a little bit more.
And they that's what I was telling Ricky all the time. Like I'm legitimately mad at Ricky. She comes over for like,
that's messed up.
No, like for
so
real.
you wake up and go like, "You will not, I will never forgive you for what you did in my dream."
Especially like on a Friday night. It happens on a Friday night. So wake up together on a Saturday, and she comes. She's like, "Hi, good morning," and I'm like, I just look at her.
Does she kind of know like what was your dream about?
So now. We've gotten to that point now where if I wake up upset, she knows it was because of a dream. Yeah. Unless we were fighting the night before or whatever, but we tried not to go to bed mad at each other, right? Yeah. So when she's like, "Good morning, how'd you sleep?" And I'm just like, fine. And she'll be like,
I'm good.
all right, babe, what's going on? And I'm like, or she'll wake up because she'll have the same dreams.
Yeah.
This happened, like, I want to say recently.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, can you stop being a jerk in my dreams? And I'm barely waking up. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Wait, she told you this?
Yeah.
So you do this to her as well.
Mm-hmm.
She's also having dreams about you.
Yeah.
Where do you ever like try to make sense of it? Like, what's your idea? Why do you think those happen?
I couldn't honestly tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't feel like, I mean, I would understand if we had an argument that night and then I go to bed and I have that dream.
Mm-hmm.
I would understand. But they happen so random and they happen so like sporadic that I can't pinpoint the reason. I am a very insecure person.
So you think it comes out in your dreams?
Yes.
But I'm not a very insecure person, and it still comes out of my dreams. So I think that might be part of it. I know a little bit of stuff about dreams. I had the craziest dreams when I was a kid, and so I did a lot of like self-research on them and stuff. And I don't know, I'm not an expert or anything, but I do know that a lot of times your dreams don't actually mean what you think they mean.
Right.
And so I'll give you two examples. So I used to have this dream a lot when I was a kid. I had multiple dreams. Have you ever had repetitive dreams where like I've had the same dream before? Mm-hmm. And so I used to have this dream, and I used to watch this. It was like I don't want to say Disney, Nickelodeon maybe. Okay. Do you remember the Beetleborgs?
No.
No, it's like an old TV show, and it wasn't animated. It was like actual kids, and they had powers, and it was kind of like Power Rangers. Oh. They had these little things, and they would turn into the Beetleborgs, and they had like armor, and they'd fight people. And there was a bad guy in the show, and he was I forgot his name, but I remember what he looks like. He looked like a ant or something, like an ant, but like in a Power Ranger. If a Power Ranger suit was made to look like an ant, that's how this guy would look. And he was, I would have this dream where he was attacking my neighborhood. And this is when I was a kid, and I lived in like a cul-de-sac in Louisiana. And so it's like a trailer park. So in my dream, it's like this animated character from a TV show is in my trailer park, like destroying it. Like, ha ha ha. Like, think of Power Rangers, was like, destroy them all. And I was like, what? Like, I went in my dream, I was like, get the fuck out of here. This guy's at my trailer park. And then he sees me, like, while I'm freaking out. And I go to run from him, but I can't run. Like, I'm running really fast. I'm staying still. And then he starts like sucking me in with this like power that he doesn't have in the show. And so I start going back to him, and then he gets me, and I wake up, kind of thing. I would have that repeated dream a lot. I would also have one where I got people pregnant a lot.
Oh shit!
And so like I think I've talked about this on a previous podcast. If you tell people that, they assume like, dude, you probably have like someone out there you knocked up, and you're thinking about it. It's not at all what it is. They say that if you're having dreams about someone that you're impregnating, it's a sign that your brain registers that person as someone you're sexually attracted to, that you so much so that you would have a child with them. And so it's like weird things like that you think you know what the dream means, and it's interpreted differently. And so going back to the actual dreams we're talking about, I have a feeling it's probably from something that we don't even know about, or we think we know.
My mom used to have this book. It said like 1,000 dream definitions or something like that, and she would seriously like wake up every morning and like, I had the weirdest dream, and she's like,
look it up.
Let me look at the book. And then she would look it up and come up with the weird, like she would have dreams about snakes, and then supposedly means bad friends in your circle. Really? But I mean, there's still books like that around. Like not too long ago I searched it, and I was like, okay, maybe, I don't know, maybe this was something that just existed before. And no, they still sell them, and they give you a whole
there's websites too where you can look it up, but it's like I think people forget to do it. I don't think dreams mean the same thing for every person though. But I do think that I'm obsessed with dreaming. Like, let me say that better. Okay, I was gonna say I'm like, when no one's around, I just dream a little. Like an addict. I just want to get home and dream. When I was a kid, I would my dreams is all I had, and that sounds like an inspiring quote, but what I mean by that is my childhood was so bad that when I would go to school or whatever, I talked about this a little bit with the last podcast with Ricky, but this is a different aspect of it I didn't touch on. It was so outrageous, and when I got home, I lived in a really bad home, and things weren't good, and my life wasn't good, so I daydreamed a lot. And so that turned into having really vivid night dreams, like actual dreams. But I remember looking forward to it. Like, it was like when things were going bad, I was like, I cannot wait to just get to my room and go to sleep so I can dream. And so I think I had this extra level of connectivity with my dreams. And I don't mean that in a spiritual way.
Right.
I mean, I was just more aware of them because they meant more to me. I think dreams stem from your imagination.
Yeah.
As we grow into adults, we have less of one than we do when we're kids.
Right.
And so we dream differently as adults than when we did when we were kids. But I think my imagination was so big when I was a kid that it caused me to have these crazy dreams that I still like are a part of me as an adult. So I always have these weird, vivid dreams. I have a lot of dreams where I'm conscious that I'm dreaming, and I try to get away with stuff because I know it's a dream.
Oh.
But
well, they say that when you're dreaming, like as you're dreaming, you can make things up yourself. Like if you're
have you ever done that?
No, I haven't gotten to that point. Like I can have like really vivid dreams, but never to the point where I'm like, okay, instead of being chased by this dude, I'm gonna make a path and walk away from it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. Try it next time. The next time that you're aware that you're dreaming, be like, why do I want to remember this?
Yes.
And then try to get away with some shit.
Huh.
Because I've done that a few times. I'm like, oh, I could just have a lightsaber. And then I'm like, what? I can do a backflip. And I would just flip a bunch of times. I literally, that's how.
You've done that.
In my dream, I'm like, oh, I could just have fun. This is like my playground. But it's been a super long time. But yeah, I remember getting to a point where like it was just super easy to do stuff like that.
That is interesting.
Try it out the next time.
That is interesting because I've had so many dreams. You know how you said repetitive dreams? Like, and then dreams that you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, okay, maybe if I fall asleep, I'll dream of something different.
Yes.
And has it happened to you when you fall back asleep, you still dream about the same thing?
Yes, and I've talked about this in a previous podcast, so I don't want to keep repeating some things that people might have already heard, but I've literally dreamt, woke up, been like, what a crazy dream. Gone to the restroom, gotten a glass of water, been like, what a crazy dream. Like, thought about it, gone back to bed, thought about it, gone to sleep, and then continued that dream.
It's like you paused the damn movie.
Yes, it's literally how it is. And then I realized I wasn't really actively conscious during the using of the restroom and the getting water and stuff. I was still kind of like in a hazy, weird state.
Okay.
But I could still kind of control the fact that I'm in that state a little bit and then go to sleep and then continue it. If you guys enjoyed that clip, click on this icon over here if you want to subscribe to the Clips channel. Click on this icon over here if you want to view the entire podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to that channel as well. See you next time.